Hello YouTube, it's Paul coming at you. Slightly different video than, the usual mail day. Something I've been thinking about doing for a while is hobby origin stories, and today's episode is episode 4, A Newer Hope. Please, Disney, do not sue me. So, I turned 47 this summer. I was around in the 90s, and, wasn't a lot of fun collecting hockey cards of Oilers for most of that time frame because, well, they stunk. Along comes 2015. Edmonton wins the draft lottery, Connor McDavid, and yeah. So I didn't buy any boxes of hockey cards because sort of overwhelmed. I had actually dabbled a few years earlier, but just trying to figure out what's what, and maybe not realizing the hobby sort of resources that are available, like YouTube, etc. To me back then, YouTube was just all I used it for was to watch like Kennedy assassination videos and conspiracy theories on the Kennedy assassination, and Sasquatch sighting videos. So to look at hockey cards or sports cards really wasn't on my radar. But 2015 comes along. I wasn't really focused on hockey cards, but I did enjoy watching Connor McDavid, and I think I thought about buying some boxes of regular Upper Deck, but just never did it. It was actually 2017. That's when I first bought my couple of boxes, looking for a McDavid Young Gun. Not realizing, or maybe doing the math in my head, that there's only 4 to 6 Young Guns per box of hobby, and that with a 49 card checklist of Young Guns, the odds are against you. But so I bought multiple boxes, and then a couple more in 2018, and never pulled them. I pulled multiples of Dylan Larkin, got a doubles of Mikko Rantanen, and this is probably when I tilted more to screw it, I'm just buying the singles that I like. A little more satisfying. You get what you want, or you save up, or you can wait for what you want and get it. But not all was completely horrible. I did get 2 cards out of, that are probably a little more substantial hobby-wise now than they were, but and they actually were my first grading submission, or part of my first grading submission. And I did these the summer of 2020. I'm starting to watch YouTube videos and discovered Instagram, and the cards that I got, I'm thinking well, if I want to parlay these into something else, then I should probably grade them if I'm going to sell them online. So here they are. First one's an Artemi Panarin Canvas Young Gun, and I knew it was sharp as far as surface, edges, corners. Completely missed the fact that it is brutally off-centered, left to right, but came back a BGS 9.5. So the one thing about Canvas, they are usually fairly good condition. I haven't ever seen cards get mangled or come out of the pack that aren't great. And then the other one, and I got this, I think, one of my first boxes of 2015-16 Upper Deck is a high gloss out of 10 Miko Rantanen. And the reason I graded it is, to me, there was some funkiness on the edges. And the guy who submitted it for me, he says, I don't think it's worth grading. He did offer to buy it. So if I ever decide to not be a hoarder and move this on to, and there are some serious Miko Rantanen collectors in Edmonton for some reason. I don't know why, but you know, I do have a buyer for this. It's just probably me coming up with a crazy number and then letting him talk me down from there. But yeah, so a solid card. But as I mentioned, it came a point in which I just said, well, screw it, I'm just gonna buy one and be done with it. And I went with the BGS, picked one up. To be honest, at the time, to me, the BGS slab and label looked sharper. Like, sort of give you an idea of what's wrong with the card. And this has the classic Upper Deck corner. There's a soft corner on here somewhere. Can't remember which one. Yeah, so I bought this one. And this got me closer to completing my set of the original. And yeah, so, and back then I bought it for a fraction of what they go for now. And then fast forward to the fall of 2019. Now McDavid's doing stuff that I think he's proving that he's probably going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I decided to buy a second one. And, you know, it's probably one of the last times that I got into the sort of hoarder mentality. But, yeah. So I got a second one. And then, you know, fast forward. It's the summer of 2020. I was bored. I was working sporadically, much like most people. But my local LCS, they did have hobby boxes as well as retail tins. And one day I was bored and, you know, went and bought a retail tin and I think a blaster. And I think I remember it well. Dallas beat Calgary. It was a Sunday afternoon type thing. And I did finally pull Connor McDavid, Young Gun. So, there I am. I now have 3. Do I need 3? Probably not. And my tastes have changed somewhat, so that, you know, they joke I should just stick this in the binder with the rest of the set, but I think there'd be a collective screaming by some people in the hobby, you know, if I did such a thing. But to me, that's kind of where it belongs. I mean, yeah, I look at it every now and then. Fun fact, for whatever reason, Upper Deck for the longest time was using card number 201 for the top Young Gun, or what they thought was the top Young Gun. But yeah, so, you know, and now with the prices on these being inflating to what they are, the smart move I think would be to move them so I could turn them into other, you know, hockey cards. But I'm not quite there yet, mentally. So, yeah. So, here's the binder. You know, went back to back. I thought of going singles, and then I could look up, you know, the stats of Carrie Rommel, etc. if I wanted to. Duncan Keith, celebrating. I feel like this was just after a Blackhawks Cup win. Oops, sorry, got out of focus there. And, you know, Ben Scrivens had came in to save the Oilers season. Then he went promptly off to the KHL. You got Matt Hendricks, Jordan Eberle, Taylor Hall. Ex-Oiler Devin Dubnyk. Pat Giretti, PK Subban. Some fun memories. Corey Schneider. He's probably one of the more entertaining personalities in NHL. Yeah. So enough of those guys. So yeah, if I was to do it, stick it in the binder. Card shouldn't get damaged because it's up in the corner. I could stick it in the middle, go old school, just throw the numbering out of a sequence. Yeah, Max Domi, kind of a hobby and NHL afterthought, but Mikko Rantanen, Kevin Fiala. It's actually a decent NHL player crop. Nikolai Ehlers. Josh Anderson, probably one of the more underrated players in the NHL. Artemi Panarin. Oh, that's Nikolai Ehlers. Previous page was Andrew Kopp. One of like 4 Dylan Larkins that I pulled. Sam Bennett. So the only cards I'm missing for the set, and it's just sheer me being cheap, it's like a Colton Parayko, and I believe, what's his name, Connor Hellebuck from Winnipeg. So yeah, Medvedev apparently is a tell, and that came in I think it was a blaster. So if you get Medvedev, there's a McDavid nearby, I think was the old thing. There's a Conrad David and Sam Bennett. That makes me chuckle. There you have it. My 2015-16 hobby origin stories. How I got back in the hobby, and you know, it was a multi-year thing of me pulling like a McDavid myself. How my taste changed. Some cool cards that I got, you know, with the Rantanen High Gloss and the Panarin Young Guns canvas. And, you know, these cards, you know, sort of turning me towards buying wax. You know, just because you could buy it and you own it, like. So, and then finally, you know, the highly coveted card that I should just put it in the binder page. But anyways, so there you have it. My hobby origin stories. Zed Wesker Griff says, get amongst it, y'all.